sure, yes. I told you I gave the commitment. Yes. I told you the commitment. Yeah. No, सबका लिए. No, please. No, please.
When he speaks, you keep silent. And when others speak, you just make a, we want Telangana, we want Andhra.
हाँ बोलिए.
Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir.
Please.
Sir, I am extremely grateful to you for allowing me to raise the issue which is extremely sensitive and extremely important for this country. So it's an issue which not merely relates to relations between two communities in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, but I take it as an issue which relates to India's sovereignty and integrity. Sir, unfortunate developments took place 23 years ago. They were selecting targeting of a community. It involved into a mass protest, and one community was compelled to leave the Kashmir Valley. We are even today extremely sad about those developments. This country is still struggling how to restore the status quo ante and send those people back. We have not been able to do so. But fortunately, in the last few months, the situation as far as terrorism is concerned within the valley has somewhat improved. And we are all encouraged by that factor. We want the situation to improve further so that in a state of tension, there are anti-national elements which try and take benefit. We don't want them to get the benefit. But then, sir, two important developments in the last few days have been taking place. One on which the Honorable Defence Minister a few days ago made a statement, namely that there has been an increased pressure from across the border on the line of control, and the number of incursions have increased. The second, that even though Valley was relatively peaceful, in the hilly regions of Jammu, there has been some activity which has been a matter of huge concern even before the recent developments that took place. Now, Kishtwar is a district of mixed population, as most of the districts in that region are. Historically, the community relationships in those districts has been extremely cordial. Tension between communities, etc., has been very rare. There were few instances of tension 5 years ago during the Amarnath movement, but those were short-lived, and finally the situation there also had improved. For the past few days, several anti-national activities in Kishtwar, which was otherwise a peaceful area, had increased. On the day of the holy festival of Eid, small instances led to a protest, a demonstration. And thereafter what took place has been extremely unfortunate and sad. The procession again started selective targeting. And when this selective targeting started, it was brought to the notice of the Government of India at the highest level. The Honorable Prime Minister was spoken to within literally minutes of these instances, because between 1990 and 2013 there is a difference. People communicate on mobile phones now, they communicate on the Twitter, they communicate on email, and within minutes information started reaching Delhi as to what had happened. People were crying out of helplessness, and the entire police was a mute spectator. There was complaints that a senior functionary of the state government could have been involved, and that's a matter which requires to be investigated. After this was reported, the matter was immediately brought to the notice of the highest in the government, the Honorable Prime Minister. And in early afternoon, we were all told that the situation is tense and the army is being moved in. We kept telling everybody who communicated with us that the army is being moved in and hopefully the situation would come under control. the functionaries of the district, whether it was the district magistrate or the collector or the senior superintendent of police, were all spectators, took no action. As of yesterday evening, that is 3 days after the incident, you have hundreds of shops being burnt, you have houses being ransacked, you have dozens of people being injured. They couldn't be treated in the civil hospital. That was the extent of tension. They had to be taken to the military or army hospitals. And some of them had even to be moved out. You had vehicles being burnt. You had some people, innocents, who also lost their lives. And this situation should have been immediately brought under control. But for the next few hours, whereas we were saying that we have an assurance from the government of India that army is being moved in, I do understand that the Home Ministry, the Defence Ministry went into action and said army should be moved in. It was only till late evening that the army, which was otherwise present close by, got positioning. And in these 6-7 hours, there was mayhem in the town of Kishtwar. And obviously when word spreads, and now you have more means of communication, you had tension in all the neighboring areas as a result of this. I do understand that the two concerned officials, the district magistrate and the SSP, had to be moved out because of their complicity or inaction. Our friends in the BSP have been complaining that the son of their district president has unfortunately died. I'm sure so many others, this would have happened to some others also. We sympathize with them. Now, what do we do in a situation like this? Do we impose censorship so that nobody comes to know? Do we have an ostrich-like approach that media will not be allowed, anybody will not be allowed into those areas? I do remember, sir, when the Amarnath movement took place and there was vast protests both in the Jammu region and the valley, Mr. Shivraj Patil took a delegation of members of parliament. We went to both the regions, we tried to cool down the tempers. Thereafter, when the stone throwing agitation took place, Mr. Chidambaram took an all-party delegation, which tried to meet everybody so that people exhausted their angers. And here we have an approach that let's just put an iron curtain in the state, not allow anybody to enter the state, and whoever is entering the state is only entering with the idea of disturbing. The media doesn't publish anything that you had this kind of a mayhem in the state. This was not merely a problem between communities. I can tell you, if it doesn't stop in these regions, it was intended to send a signal of the kind in 1990, which still hangs around our neck as a garland of shame. What happened in the valley in 1990. And therefore you tried a system by which nobody should come to know what is happening. What happened to me personally yesterday, I consider it absolutely secondary. But let me tell you, sir, even on that issue, the state of Jammu and Kashmir is not a personal property of one family. It's an integral part of India. And you will have to decide how it is to be governed. 1.5 years ago, when I and my colleague from the Lok Sabha, Mrs. Swaraj, went there, I respect Mr. Chidambaram's acumen as a lawyer also. Please examine it. Section 144 to prevent your entry into the state. What did we go for? We wanted to address a rally in Jammu where the national flag was to be hoisted. Section 144, to prevent your entry into the state, the two of us were physically lifted and sent outside the state. Externment orders under Section 144. Start this practice. This is exactly what happened yesterday. What if the BJP governments start imposing Section 144 to prevent the entry of any AICC leader into their states? Will the media, which has been maintaining a stunning censorship on this issue, have the same double standards? India is not a banana republic that you can say that Section 144 will be imposed and you will extern people from the state and prevent their entry. I was stunned to read an order The order banning me from entering the state is open-ended and indefinite. It's not even limited in terms of date. This is the plight of democracy in that state. And this is happening that you can't enter Jammu, which was otherwise absolutely peaceful. Forget Kishtawar. What have we done earlier when we have gone to Srinagar and Jammu when tensions were on? You go to the guest houses, circuit houses, you call the people, you bring tempers down, you listen to them, you find out what the facts are. And these details should have been known. Sir, this whole incident requires to be investigated. And this incident is not merely, I repeat, an inter-community disturbance. In an inter-community disturbance, flags of a neighboring country are not brought out.
Yes.
Those who have waged war against this country and have been given death sentence, their photographs are not displayed. It is not a law and order situation. This is an issue of India's sovereignty. And therefore, I would urge the Honorable Home Minister and in his place the Honorable Finance Minister who is replying to please treat it in that manner. Those who have suffered must be compensated. The guilty must be brought to book. And we'd also like to know, with the levels of accountability that we are being told with regard to other states, when all this has happened, why have people not been arrested there so far? As of yesterday, I was told by informed sources that was the position. If something has happened overnight or after yesterday when I was given this information, I'll be too happy to know this. It's a serious matter, and I hope the government of India, if it takes it lightly, then we'll have to pay the same price that we paid in relation to the valley in 1990.
Okay.
Thank you.